Constitution doesn't belong to these temporary political hacks. It belongs to generations before us, our generation, and future generations. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you a little story. What it was once like to be free in America, where government agents couldn't go up to your driveway and put little GPS devices on the bottom of your car in the middle of the night without a warrant. Now, nobody's more pro-law enforcement than I, but pro-law enforcement is not pro-violating the Constitution. Adam Cohen, I hope you're listening, particularly those of you who live in the Ninth Circuit, which is tens of millions of you. Writing in Yahoo, government agents can sneak onto your property in the middle of the night, put a GPS device on the bottom of your car, and keep track of everywhere you go. By the way, hat tip, Jedediah Bali. This doesn't violate your Fourth Amendment rights because you do not have any reasonable expectation of privacy in your own driveway, and no reasonable expectation that the government isn't tracking your movements. Now, that is the bizarre and scary rule that now applies in California and 8 other western states. The U.S. Court of Appeals for the Ninth Circuit, oh, gee, I thought it was leftist, which covers this vast jurisdiction, recently decided the government can monitor you in this way virtually any time it wants with no need for a search warrant. It's a dangerous decision, one that, as the dissenting judges warned, could turn America into a sort of totalitarian state imagined by George Orwell. And one of the judges who dissented, Alex Kaczynski, a libertarian/conservative appointed by Ronald Reagan. How do I know? Because I did the vetting for his nomination. Way back when. It is particularly offensive because the judges had it insult to injury with some shocking class bias. The little personal privacy that still exists, the court suggested, should belong mainly to the rich. This case began in 2007 when the DEA agents decided to monitor Juan Peña Moreno, an Oregon resident who they suspected was growing marijuana. They snuck onto his property in the middle of the night, found his Jeep in his driveway, a few feet from his trailer home. Then they attached a GPS tracking device to the vehicle's underside. Keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, it's apparently against the Constitution, according to this jurisdiction, to legally stop somebody and ask them for their papers to see if they're from this country legally. That somehow is offensive to the Constitution. This somehow is embraced by the Constitution. That's right, the liberal mind is a very sick one. After Peña Moreno challenged the DEA's actions, a 3-judge panel of the Ninth Circuit ruled in January it was perfectly legal. More disturbingly, a larger group of judges on the circuit who were subsequently asked to reconsider the ruling decided this month to let it stand. The court went on to make a second terrible decision about privacy. Now, once a GPS device has been planted, the government is free to use it to track people without getting a warrant as well. So you don't need a warrant to install it. You don't need a warrant to track. There's a major battle underway in the federal and state courts over this issue, and the stakes are high. After all, if government agents can track people with secretly planted GPS devices virtually any time they want without having to go to court for a warrant, we're one step closer to the classic police state, he writes, with technology taking on the role of the KGB or the East German Stasi. I can tell you this can get out of hand. Fortunately, other courts are coming to a different conclusion from the Ninth Circuits, including the influential U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia Circuit. That court ruled also this month that tracking for an extended period of time with GPS is an invasion of privacy that requires a warrant. This issue is likely to end up in the Supreme Court. Well, count me among those who believe that apart from the usual exceptions in getting a warrant, and there are many, and they're legitimate, that no, somebody shouldn't be able to walk into your driveway and stick a GPS device under your car and track you for as long as they wish. I don't trust this government anymore. I don't trust the people who run it. I don't trust this Justice Department. I don't trust any of them. I don't trust any of them. Do you?